Attack Dosing Piracetam. I am your host, Ryan Michael Bell. Thanks so much for being with me. Thanks so much for being here. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Check us out on the web at livecortex.com. livecortex.com/blog, giant blog for nootropics information, all these videos plus our podcast. Facebook.com/cortexstack, that's our Facebook channel where we post a bunch of this stuff, great nootropics information. And that is it. We've got six powerful products. We're going to run through those products as those products sponsor this video. There are products, if you don't want to listen to me talk about powerful nootropic products, just fast forward a minute and a half. But number one, the Cortex Nootropics stack. Right now, 20% off at $27. Hey, Cortex is $27 through this week, continuing moving forward until we get a new batch, which is coming soon, so I'm not sure when it's going to end. $27 for a pre-made nootropic stack that really turns on the cognitive lights. I mean, this is the kind of stack that you take if you want to turn on every mode of brain function and for a considerable period of time. Get it at livecortex.com. 5 digital guides, the new PEP Pro Stack List, the Beginner's Guide to Racetam, teaches you everything about Racetam, many stacks, Smarter, Better, Faster. This sort of, if you're new to nootropics, Get Smarter, Better, Faster teaches you everything. The Racetam God Guide, if you want 80 Racetam stacks that turn on every brain state imaginable, get that. And then the nootropic stack for the business professional. Alert! If you're a business person, get the nootropic stack for the business professional guide. It's got 100 or so productivity-oriented stacks. Then we've got consulting. We've got nootropics consulting, 40-minute call with me, 15 additional email correspondences. And then we have chronic fatigue syndrome consulting, which is an hour call with me and 30 additional email correspondences. Get all that stuff at livecortex.com. Remember, all the digital guides are 20% off right now. And Cortex, our mighty, powerful nootropic stack, $27. Okay, so attack doses are when you take a substantial dose of a particular nootropic compound. That's what attack doses are. And so like to give you some examples, an attack dose of Racetam, where the normal dose is 700 milligrams, would be about 2 grams. Attack dose of oxiracetam, where the normal dose is a gram, would be about 2.5 grams, 3 grams, something like that, right? Just a substantial dose. The new PEP attack dose would be 30 to 40 milligrams. Right, because the normal dose on new PEP is 10 to 15 milligrams for most folks. A lot of folks respond to 5 milligrams. And so attack doses, so that's what they are in terms of milligram quantity. What they intend to do for a lot of folks that are looking to repair their brains in, perhaps they've been an alcoholic for quite some time, they've done some damage to GABA receptors, or that's probably a bad example, perhaps they've been taking certain pharmaceutical compounds for a while and that has been fussing with their memory, that's probably a better example, or they've got traumatic brain injury, or I don't know, I mean, they've been smoking marijuana for the last 10 years and their memory is like waning or whatever. I'm not trying to trash marijuana. I think cannabis is useful. We've talked about that before. It's just an example, right? And so whatever the case is, or any number of other situations, folks really need to bring in a high-dose nootropic compound to start to work on the neurochemistry involved that might be impaired, that's making them not function, well in one area or another, like verbal fluency, memory, etc. Piracetam, as an example, modifies cholinergic receptors, improves cerebral blood flow, and I think it's got a mild, very, very mild allosteric modulation of AMPA receptor. So it's kind of like Racetam, and then it's mildly stimulatory in that regard, but it's very mild. So say somebody has some sort of cholinergic signaling, it's just a malfunction in the signaling of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine and or its receptor sites in the brain, or something's blocking the action of it from functioning correctly or inhibiting the functionality of it via some pharmaceutical compound that they might be taking for anxiety or whatever. Well, they might need a strong dose of piracetam, as an example, just to jumpstart the recovery process, just to jumpstart the process of kind of recovering that cholinergic signaling and making their brain able to have good memory and have good focus, etc. And so, look, I've seen many cases, like now we just have so much information with people that we consult on nootropics, which is something that we do every day. Every day I'm sitting doing Skype calls with folks on nootropics now. And I have so much information now about it, and around attack doses, there are some people for whom attack doses are the only thing that works for them right away. Now, here's what ends up happening, which is very interesting. So this is a real interesting thing. Lower doses of piracetam in this example, 2 grams, 3 grams, really won't do them much justice. I'm talking about people that have long-term brain fog, they've got long-term memory issues, and these issues have been a problem for 5 to 10 years, and nothing helps them. 3 grams piracetam, really not doing a whole lot. 6 grams of piracetam, and in some cases a 6-gram dose of piracetam and then followed up with another 2 or 3 gram dose of piracetam later that day, a total of 8 or 9 grams of piracetam. 8 or 9 grams of piracetam, 8 or 9 grams of piracetam later that day, a total of 8 or 9 grams of piracetam later that day, a total of 8 or 9 grams of piracetam later that day, a total of 8 or 9 grams of piracetam later that day, a total of 8 or 9 grams of piracetam later that day, a total of 8 or 9 grams of piracetam later that day, a total of 8 or 9 grams of piracetam later that day, a total of 8 or 9 grams of piracetam later that day, a total of 8 or 9 grams of piracetam later that day, a total of 8 or 9 grams of piracetam later that day, a total of 8 or 9 grams of piracetam later that day, a total of 8 or 9 grams of piracetam later that day, a total of 8 or 9 grams of piracetam later that day, a total of 8 or 9 grams of piracetam later that day, a total of 8 or 9 grams of piracetam I've had folks go, I haven't been able to have memory, verbal fluency, functionality in 8 years. After I took this attack dose, basically everything came back. Essentially for 2 or 3 days or something while I was taking this attack dose, all of my symptoms went away and I was functioning really awesomely. I felt like I had my life back. So that's just to give you an idea of why people might need it in some examples. The thing that happens thereafter, though, which is very interesting for those people, is that eventually the attack doses do become what you would imagine attack doses for a normal person would be, which is overstimulating or inducive of side effects somehow, which then prompts them to have to lower the dose to something normal, at which point they can sustainably take the piracetam or whatever with proper cycling, and hopefully, with bringing in some other similar nootropic compounds that work on similar things to prevent tolerance to side effects and all these things that we try to prevent. Okay, so let me run through everything again. Attack doses are doses. Attack doses in general are high, super high doses of nootropic compounds that one might need because they have particular damage in some area, or they're trying to fix some area that's really atrophied, from traumatic brain injury, from pharmaceutical intervention, from whatever. Some folks take high dose piracetam when they've got pretty long-term functionality problems, memory problems, verbal fluency problems, and it really is the only thing that works well for them to alleviate some of their brain fog. But then after 3 to 6 days or so, sort of the general time frame of doing that, they start to get side effects, at which point they have to lower the dose to something normal, at which point it becomes sustainable for them thereafter. And then hopefully, again, as a bonus, what they should do is just sort of cycle between different kind of compounds over time to keep the brain functioning good, but to not develop tolerance or side effects from one particular compound, okay? So that's a case for mega dosing, attack dosing, whatever you want to call it, a piracetam. I've seen it many times. I'm seeing it more and more. We just had a client who basically fit exactly this description. We've had 3 or 4 people fit that exact description before, a pretty similar description, but we just had somebody who really had to take 6 grams of piracetam, 2 grams later on that day, responded, did that for 2-3 days, and then had to dial it back, and now is at a sustainable quantity of piracetam. So that is the case for piracetam and mega dosing and attack dosing. I thought that'd be useful for folks, because maybe if you're new to nootropics, you're not responding to lower doses, you might just need to take a couple days to attack dose and then bring the dose down to something normal. Thanks for watching. Hey, remember, 20% off everything at the Cortex Labs website. That's the powerful Cortex stack. Look, if you've got some sort of brain fog, we don't promote it like this because we like to promote how good it is, but if you have verbal fluency issues, fog issues, motivation issues, right, speed of processing issues, if you just don't feel your brain working the way that it should or the way that you want it to be, and it's impairing your capacity to do what you want in life, buy a bottle of Cortex. I think you're going to be really surprised at how it turns basically everything back on. It's a very reparative nootropic compound. Everything else is 20% off right now at livecortex.com. Get some stuff. Thanks for watching. What's up, everybody? Ryan Michael Balla here. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Look, we've got, as it stands, 5 primary products that I want to just explain to you. You heard us mention them during the video, so I'm going to break them down. Number 1, from left to right, the Cortex Nootropics stack. This is a cognitive enhancement stack that you really want to take to turn the lights on. Just to give you an idea, hardcore business folks that require 18 to 20 hours of brain function take the Cortex stack. That's what we initially designed it for, but then everybody in the nootropic sphere loved it. Verbal fluency, speed of processing, motivation, drive to want to work. That's what the Cortex stack does. Moving right along, the aniracetam guide there, that is called the Beginner's Guide to Aniracetam, breaks down 25 powerful aniracetam stacks, shows you how to use aniracetam. It's essentially the everything guide to aniracetam. Long demanded, folks asked us for it, we delivered. It is fully digital, lots of powerful stacks. And then there's the nootropic stack for the business professional. That's basically 100, right around 100 powerful uridine, modafinil, theacrine, aniracetam, oxiracetam, phenylpiracetam, alcar stacks for business situations, for the type of brain states that business folks need for sustained performance. Next is the Racetam God guide. That is a high-level every Racetam guide, digital guide. We've got all the major Racetams with accompanying focus stacks and memory stacks and speed of processing stacks. In that Racetam. There's 8 major nootropic Racetams, and that guide explains all of them and accompanying stacks. Then there's the NuPep Pro Stack List. The NuPep Pro Stack List is a digital guide that explains oral, so just taking it by mouth, sublingual, taking it under the tongue, and then intranasal, spraying NuPep nasal spray in your nose, stacks. It's just a bunch of stacks, a giant stack list of NuPep stacks that are highly effective, pro-level specific brain state inducing type of new pep stacks. That thing has been a hit out there with the market. And then last, there's Smarter, Better, Faster. Smarter, Better, Faster is the all-around, everything nootropics digital guide. If you just want to learn everything, many racetams, modafinil, etc., get Smarter, Better, Faster. It's like the guide you need to know if you're new to nootropics to learn basically everything and to walk away knowing what you need to know on nootropics. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. Get this stuff at livecortex.com and rock on.